The biggest lie I've been told by Geometry Dash players is that creators of level sequels have an obligation to be faithful to the original. This is not the purpose of a sequel, and to criticize one for not capturing the essence of its predecessor is ludicrous. By definition, a sequel is not meant to be the same as what it comes from. A sequel is a work that develops the theme of or takes place after an existing one. When most people think of a sequel, they think of the next chapter in the original story, or in the context of Geometry Dash, where most works do not have a narrative, perhaps a work that is inspired by the original in some way comes to mind. What they certainly don't think of is the exact same work with a little bit of polish. That is called a remake. Many community members and some YouTubers use the terms sequel and remake interchangeably, but it's important to remember that they are not synonyms. Imagine if some filmmaker announced a new movie and advertised it as a sequel to an iconic motion picture. You buy a ticket and go to the premiere, only to discover that this sequel is just an extended version of the original with a higher budget and better CGI. That would be ridiculous, right? So why does the Geometry Dash community insist that a good sequel is one that is faithful to the original? Respecting the predecessor should not be the priority unless you are building a remake, and even then, the criticism received by levels like Lunar Demise and Dark Dimension is unfair. If one listens to critiques from people on Twittix, these remakes stray too far and ruin the charm of their originals, while simultaneously not changing enough and being lazy copies made for views. It seems that the community can't decide where exactly it wants remakes to fall on the spectrum from completely faithful to completely original. This causes them to receive hate no matter what they do, which is totally undeserved. If you're building a sequel, then being true to the original level should not even be a concern. You shouldn't make it almost the same as its predecessor, and you shouldn't look for a middle ground between originality and faithfulness. You should make your own level with the caveat that it needs to be inspired by the original in some way. Don't feel that your sequel should only build on and polish up the original, or even that you have to keep most of its aspects. It's up to you as the creator to pick and choose what you want to draw inspiration from and what you want to change. Changing too little will only cause your sequel to live in the original's shadow. One concept that people like is what's called an antagonist sequel, where the idea is to be inspired by the original by making your level the exact opposite in certain respects. Even though the levels seem way different, there will be noticeable parallels between the two, which is quite interesting. Another good idea is to make your sequel a story that takes place after the original, and a simple way of going about this is to use a later part of the same song. In my opinion, it's better to use a different song and different gameplay or structuring to show that this level is not the same journey as the original, though. It also helps to have lore that binds the two together, like Limbo and Return Zero have. Sequels are much better when they go their own way, rather than trying to recreate the original charm. Click the video on screen to hear about a remake that endures similar criticisms, Dark Dimension. What is your favorite type of sequel? Leave a comment below to let me know. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.